Tanya Plibersek.
I feel really deeply uncomfortable about what Brendan's saying. I think he's saying that that the left are trying to exploit this terrible event, and it makes me sick to the stomach to hear that. It makes me absolutely sick to the stomach to hear you saying that there is any group of people in the community trying to exploit what is a deeply disturbing event. I don't know the answer to whether this person is one crank or whether he's a terrorist. I think normally terrorists work in concert with other people, so I would say in many ways that he is one crank. But the idea that people who preach hatred in the community have then no responsibility for violent acts that occur afterwards, I cannot understand that you think that it is fine for people to go out and say we should kill all Muslims or we should do this or do that, and that has no real effect in the world.
No, but the writers that are being blamed... No, wait, before you clap. The writers who are being blamed for this massacre did not say, go out and kill all Muslims. They said, I am opposed to the ideology of multiculturalism. They said, I think there should be 5,000 immigrants a year rather than 55,000. Now, I happen to disagree with them on pretty much everything. But what I'm saying is that you cannot draw a distinction between someone who rationally criticises multiculturalism and someone who irrationally kills 77 people.
And I think that it is perfectly fine in any democracy to have a discussion about government policy, whether it's multiculturalism or climate change or social security legislation. Whatever it is, of course we should have a debate. But what you're saying is that there is no responsibility if you preach hate for what happens.
No, there isn't, because
hate.
I believe in something called free will. I think people should take responsibility for their own actions, and you are letting Breivik off the hook by saying that other people are to blame for invading his mind.
No, I do not say that. Please don't put words in my mouth. I do not say...
You have just said other people need to bear responsibility for his actions.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm saying only he should bear responsibility for his actions.
He should bear responsibility, but people who preach hate bear responsibility for the hatred they support in the community.
Okay.
And I'm not drawing a direct link, and you cannot put those words in my mouth.
Okay, well,
but if you think it doesn't matter in a community that we shouldn't have courteous debate about the issues that we care about as a nation, then I am very disappointed.
Right, well, I think it is illegitimate for you, for a politician, to depict legitimate criticism of multiculturalism as preaching hate.
No, I don't.
You have aligned those two things.
No, I don't.
The writers who are being blamed for this act did not preach hate.
Listening
they
to
raised legitimate political concerns. You may disagree with them.
I
do.
You are not listening to me.
Okay, I'm just going to put a pause button on this. I'll let you make your comment, and then I'll go to someone else.
I need to repeat this. I have not drawn that direct link. And I have said very clearly that people should be able to have any civilised debate in our community about any issue, but that debate should be respectful and it should not preach hate.
Respectful.
Can I just interrupt there very briefly? Have you seen that link drawn in Australia?
No,
some people suggest, for example, the Cronulla riots
came
as partly, at least, as a result of Talkback Radio.
It was incited by Alan Jones.
I believe it was incited. And I'll tell you something else. I'll tell you something else, Tony. I mean, you know, the Gabrielle Gifford's The Crosshairs. If you think that sort of thing doesn't influence people, if you think that people out there saying homosexuals deserve to die and the Iraq War is God's punishment on homosexuality, that doesn't increase homophobic violence.
The implication of these arguments are extraordinary, because what you're effectively saying is that journalists should be restricted in what they can say and the tone in which they can say it, and the public are so stupid and gullible that if there is a Daily Mail article which is shrill and outrageous, they'll go and get a gun and kill loads of people.
No,
the censorious implications of this are extraordinary.
Are you okay with Alan?
It's pretty predictable that a politician would have those kind of views, but for Stephen, a journalist and a founder of online publications, to draw a link between Alan Jones and riots as if one incites the other...
There were investigations. I mean, are you comfortable with Alan Jones saying that Julia Gillard, our Prime Minister, should be put in a bag and thrown out to sea? That's what he said recently.
Yes, because
it's ridiculous.
I trust that the vast majority of the public know that he is having a joke and will not take him literally. And if they do, they have committed a crime.
Just the vast majority.